Marty, we're heading into the second game of the 3-game week. What's the feeling now after looking back on Stoke? There were so many positives. Obviously, as you always say, you'll be disappointed when we don't win a game, but there were a lot of positives to take. It could have been a very different result.
Yeah, we had this morning a good game evaluation with the players, and actually the final feeling from everyone is that we had a good performance. A lot of positives that we can take about the amount of chances that we created against a good team. A bit unlucky, if you could say, with 3 posts. I think that we conceded in the first shot in the game, despite we started the game really well. And perhaps the main one for me is the mental strength to start the game really well, then not being able to capitalize on those moments in the first shot, then suddenly get down and keep chasing. Then obviously missing the penalty was a big one as well, but still the team had this mental strength. At the end we get the draw and we kept pushing to try to get the victory on the last minute. So I think definitely it's a performance that was much better than perhaps the previous performance, but still we need to be very good at the final score. That is what at the end counts in football.
How important was a good performance?
It's the foundation of everything. We always say the same, that the feeling when we don't get the result but the performance is very good give us confidence and faith in what we are doing. I think that when you don't play really well and then you get a good result, it's usually a signal of a very good team, but it doesn't help you in the long term, because the way to get results is to play good football and to perform well. Then we could discuss for long what is to play good football, but for me at the end is to create more chances than the position and to capitalize on those moments.
You mentioned the penalty. Jean Seller is obviously going through a difficult time as he looks to settle here at QPR and in this country. As a head coach, how are you finding almost looking after him? Because obviously he's displayed his qualities previously before coming here and he has his qualities. How are you dealing with that situation with Jean?
It's about man management, and this is one of the biggest parts, I would say, of my job, of the coaching staff as well, to help the player not only to integrate in the country, in the league, but especially in the team, how to settle down with the teammates, how to understand how we want to play, but to engage from a human perspective. At the end now we got a young guy that moved to a new country, that there is big expectations, not only because he's playing for his national team and because he comes as one of the goal scorers in the Swiss league, but at the same time because all the strikers, when they are signed, everybody expects them to be the solution to all the problems in any team in the world. Said that, Jan is a fantastic penalty taker, has been proving that in his career. In the trainings he's excellent, so together with Nico they are probably the best penalty takers. Lucas as well is at that level. Ilya is another one that is a good penalty taker, but his tracking record is excellent. And what I value is that he had the personality in a bad moment, or in a moment where his confidence perhaps as a striker, because he's not scoring, is not the highest, he still had the personality to take the ball and go for it. So only the players that has this kind of courage can miss a penalty. That's why I will never be mad with a player because of that. Said that, then we're going to try to help him, because obviously it was a difficult game for him. It was not easy for him when he was subbed, the reaction of the supporters that have been always excellent. I understand the frustration, but at this moment what we're trying to do is to give him support and love, because probably that's what he needs, and hopefully this will pay off because he's a quality player.
How can the QPR fans help in that respect?
Probably being patient with him, and I know that it's easier to say than to ask, but as I said before, I know that in every country I've been, everybody expects from every striker to be the solution to, okay, we don't win this game because the striker didn't score in this chance, or we don't win the league because the striker didn't score 35 goals. The reality is that there are not that many like this, but actually we got now one that has done it in the last 3 years, has been scoring a lot of goals. The same with Michi, and I would like to remind that Michi's first months were not easy here at QPR. Probably some fans were a bit disappointed, and probably the way now we see Michi is a bit different. So I think that's a good example about sometimes football patience is a lot to ask for everyone, for managers, for players, for everyone, because the nature of the emotions of the supporters is to be mad when we lose, to be happy when we win, and that must be that way. But at the same time, I would like to ask everyone this togetherness, to understand that players need sometimes some time, and then time will tell us if that support, or that confidence, or that patience was deserved or not.
Cardiff on Wednesday evening, they occupy what is currently our target, which is the first stop above the relegation zone. Does that make it a bigger game in your eyes?
it's always important to get good results, especially against teams that are around us in the table, because it becomes a little bit of 6-pointer. So it's definitely an important game for us, especially because the challenge that we're playing against a team that is in a better trend since they changed the manager, but as well because we know that our challenge is to maintain the level of performance, if not to increase what we show in the last Saturday. So we had a similar experience a few weeks ago against Sunderland. We had a very good game. Then the next game was not at the same level. So we are very aware that the challenge for us is the stability, that I've been talking a lot about it, that I think it's crucial in Championship to be able to maintain a good level all the games that can allow us to compete well.
Is that something you've been reminding the players about since Saturday?
Definitely. It was a big topic today, and individual talks and all the clips that we went through. We speak always about, I think that football, many times nowadays, everybody's talking about the stats, about data, but for me, football is a game of mistakes. And usually the team that makes less mistakes is the one who wins. That doesn't mean that we need to approach the games in a defensive-minded way or whatever it is. It's more about to be aware that to keep that level of consistency where mistakes are not happening often in the pitch. And if so, how we react collectively to those, it's very important.
And I'm going to hit you with a stat. Cardiff City, they've only lost 2 of their last 9, but they've also lost 2 of their last 3. So it depends on how you view them at the moment. But certainly since they've made a change, they've had a good run of results.
I was a bit surprised, to be honest, with the start of the season that they got. Sometimes you don't know exactly what's going on inside the clubs, but it is a ruthless league, we know that, and it can get a bad dynamic and then it can change quickly. So I think it's a good example for us as well to learn from, that sometimes the dynamic can change very quick. In that sense, I know that they have quality players and they have been doing well lately, but for us as well, we look at the history on our visits to this stadium, and it has been good. So hopefully we can repeat a positive result. And as I said, for me, the most important is to make sure that we have a very good performance, because we know that then it's much easier to get the result.
Before the Stoke match, you said you really wanted a fast start from your team. You certainly got that. Is that the minimum requirement you want now, just to almost take the ascendancy and control from the off, if you can?
It has been always very important for us. I think that we did really well on Saturday. I would say that for us, it's something that gives us at this moment, especially confidence on how we start the games. We have not been leading many games, unfortunately, and it's something that we need to, because obviously it's difficult to chase results. And at the same time, we know that there are a couple of details that we speak with the players that are important in the way we start the games. So it's something that definitely we need to do, because we know it's going to be a difficult game on Wednesday, but it's something that we try to highlight every time.
And in terms of team news, Morgan Fox and Ken Powell returned to the side at the weekend. Sam Field and Paul Smith came off late on. How are they?
Yeah, Paul Smith came back from the international break with a little bit of feeling on his groin, so we knew that he was not ready to play 90 minutes. At the last minute he was on the pitch, he was starting to struggle, and we cannot risk, we cannot afford to lose him in a period like this, with a lot of injured players at the moment, and as well with this busy schedule for this week. So it was the right time to sub him. And the same a little bit with Sam Field. He got a tackle in the first half in his ankle. He was struggling more and more through the minutes, and I think that both of them will be ready for Wednesday, but in some way it was difficult for them to carry on during the game. The positive news, as you said, is Liam Morrison for me had a very good performance. Perhaps his fitness level was still a little bit in the edge to play 90 minutes. Again, we tried to assess as well the risk. We thought that Foxy could give us as well some experience in the last minutes against his former team as well. So it's always about trying to get the best of all the players, but I'm pleased with the performance of all 4.
And Jack Colback is the next from those who's currently out injured, who's getting closer.
Yeah, he had a very good training today with the group. It was a very positive news, because actually what we expected, it was a bit less than what actually he managed. So he showed his desire to contribute, to be ready, hopefully very soon. So he had a very good practice today, and yeah, hopefully looking for him getting back very soon, because it's definitely his experience and his quality will be very welcome at this moment.
And just very finally, the QPR fans travelling to South Wales for the midweek game. How keen are you to give them something to celebrate afterwards? Especially after what happened last Saturday, I have no words to describe how much I want this.